Pick your mans up.
And just because people used to come through shooting at us every day. And this block, words can't even explain, man. Can't even explain.
Yeah, man.
Little School Valley, 051 Young Money.
Young Money, man. They in the building.
600 boy, LA, man. LA Capone, man. Get it to him, man. OC2 boys, man. Team
Rondo number 9, man. Number 9 shooter, you hear me?
Hey, bitch, little bitch. Yeah. Fuck is wrong with you? Hey, I am Brick Squad. Brick Squad, boy. Fuck is you talking about, boy?
You have to be willing to die or go to jail for 100 years if that's the lane that you're stepping in. You have to understand that whether you 15, 16, you got to think like a man. You know what I'm saying?
So don't be in it. Oh, you're not? Why does everybody say you're only 16 years old?
They say what they want to say.
How old
How old are you?
300.
The story of Lil Marc. This is the story of Lil Marc from 051 Young Money, the rapper who put his set on the map through his music and his death. Now, Marc was a genuine talent on the mic, best known for his track No Competition. But he wasn't just a musician. On the streets, he was a key figure, a shooter and alleged killer who put in work for his block. In this video, we'll walk through his early years, his entry into the street life, his music, the violence around his name, and the full story of how he died and who was behind it. I hope you enjoy this video. Lil Marc, whose real name was Marca Campbell Jr., was born on March 31, 1994, in Chicago, Illinois. Marc spent most of his life in the Woodlawn neighborhood, specifically centered around 51st Street, but he was originally from 43rd and Evans, territory that later became known as Welch World. He was part of a well-known family, being the brother of Tooka, C-Ball, and Peasy, all affiliated with STL/EBT. The exact shared parentage between the siblings is complex, but their bond was clear. Two of his brothers became notable figures in Chicago's street history. C-Ball was one of the original founders of STL, while Tooka's murder in early 2011 led to the set adopting the name Tookaville, a moniker that achieved global recognition through the music of FBG Duck, Lil Durk, and King Von. Though Peasy kept a lower profile than C-Ball or Tooka, he was an established member who served a lengthy prison sentence before his release. Marc was raised by his mother, who did everything she could to support him. Financial struggles meant she had to work constantly to make ends meet, leaving her away from home for long stretches. His grandmother played a major role in raising him as well, filling in the gaps during those tough financial years. His father was largely absent from his life. Outside of the street dynamics, Marc was just a regular kid who loved playing basketball and spent most of his free time hanging out on the block with his friends. Growing up, Marc attended Rivas Elementary School before going on to Hyde Park Academy High School. Hyde Park Academy was a central hub during that era, attended by a wide range of future drill figures, including King Von, FBG Duck, G Herbo, and numerous set members from across the city. The overlap was so close that there is even a well-known photo floating around showing Lil Marc and King Von standing in the exact same frame together during their younger years. Because both Rivas and Hyde Park Academy were heavily attended by 051 Young Money members, Marc was surrounded by members constantly. Walking those halls and growing up alongside those guys made his entry into the gang life almost inevitable from a very young age. Now, Marc was by no means just a follower. It wasn't a situation where a group of friends dragged him into the street life. If anything, it was the other way around. While he certainly looked up to the elders and drew inspiration from the older members who came before him, within his own circle and age group, Marc was the driving force. He was the leading figure among his friends, the one setting the tempo, taking charge, and actively pushing and pressuring those around him to engage in street activity.
You don't get these Nike. That's just like motherfuckers.
Like they all white.
The Tooka,
Like they all white or
They
something.
go with my fit.
Them not Air Forces.
What type of pants? Hold on. What type of
He's
pants?
true. Okay,
Them ain't never. Them ain't. Hold on.
Okay, cool. Fuck you about.
You trying to get out wear trues? Fuck wrong. I know you ain't got no Ricos on your ass. Fuck is wrong with you?
Come on, man. All that funny shit, man.
You
These
tell
evolution ass man.
You got some Ricos.
Got them
on.
evolution ass.
Rico told his ass come with 40. He gone. That's
Them
where you got
gas
that
station
belt.
ass
That's where you
man.
got that belt from.
Them guys.
Marc started getting into trouble early in life. Like many young guys in the area, he began with petty offenses, stealing bikes, throwing rocks at cars, before quickly escalating to more serious criminal activity, including drug distribution and robberies. On June 1, 2007, when Marc was just 13 years old and had barely entered his teens, he was arrested for the first time at 4959 South Drexel Avenue and charged with battery causing bodily harm. Just 2 months later, on August 30th, 2007, he was taken into custody again and hit with another battery charge. Less than a month after that, on September 24th, 2007, he was arrested yet again. This time charged with assault on a park employee. His rap sheet from that period paints a clear picture of a hot-headed, volatile teenager. Marc picked up several other arrests over those years, mostly for minor infractions like criminal trespassing. But on August 19, 2010, Lil Marc was arrested for the 10th time in just 3 years, charged with heroin possession. At only 16 years old, he was already deeply entrenched in the local drug trade.
Oh yeah, about rates out shit. I don't see these fuck niggas.
To understand 051, we have to look back to the 1990s. During that period, the Mickey Cobras experienced a resurgence after members from 51st and St. Lawrence began calling themselves the Lost Tribe. Over time, they expanded their presence from King Drive all the way to Drexel Boulevard. Around that same era, the Mickey Cobras living in the Drexel Towers and nearby row houses took the name 48th Drexelside. Their main hub was the Revis Park basketball courts at 50th and Drexel. They shared that park with a titanic stone set known as 52nd Drexelside, a close ally, as their matching names suggest. Then, in 2007, a younger clique emerged, calling themselves 51st Young Money. This set was started by a group of teenagers and young adults, specifically DJ, Rilla, and Ziko, out of 50th and Evans. They operated right behind the Washington Park Plaza at 51st and Cottage Grove, which quickly became their primary hangout. Soon after, members of 51st Young Money started hanging around Revis Park as well, building strong, lasting ties with the Drexelside Mickey Cobras. In 2008, 051 Young Money lost one of its foundational figures, Ziko. It was a murder that would shape the set's trajectory for years to come. In late September 2008, Ziko got into a heated argument in a McDonald's parking lot near 47th and Cottage Grove. He was confronting two 18-year-olds from 4554 Drexel View, the set known today as THF-46, identified as Aki Walton and Romel Outlaw. During the dispute, Aki pulled out a handgun and shot Ziko in the chest and back before both men fled north on Cottage Grove. Ziko was rushed to the hospital, but he died from his injuries the following day, September 28. Authorities quickly identified Aki as the shooter and charged him on October 6, but he had vanished. Tips revealed he had fled the state to hide in Indianapolis, prompting the FBI to step in. Following an 8-month manhunt, federal agents and local police arrested Aki in Indiana on June 4, 2009. He was extradited back to Chicago and later sentenced to 27 years in prison. After his death, Ziko became a constant target of disrespect from THF, as well as members of 600 and O Block. In that regard, his standing within 051 Young Money mirrored Tooka's role for STL, a fallen member whose name rivals constantly mocked. To honor his memory and keep his legacy alive, 051 members adopted the name Ziko World. Following the deaths of Ziko, as well as Loss and Lance, two members they had lost even earlier, the younger Mickey Cobras from St. Lawrence all the way to Drexel came together in 2009. They united under a single banner, 051 Young Money. At the same time, the Mickey Cobras from King Drive, known as Guttaville, broke away. That split eventually turned them into direct rivals of Young Money. Over time, many of the younger Mickey Cobras under the YM identity began aligning more with the Maniac philosophy, stepping away from their traditional Mickey Cobra roots. 051 Young Money formed early alliances with several sets, including Met Boys, Dirty Low, Lake Park, Lawless 035, and 5200 Drexside. On the other end, THF-46, their primary rival, essentially forced 051 into a full-scale war. At first, 051 wasn't heavily active in street conflicts. But as THF-46 escalated the violence and pressure, 051 had to adapt and respond, with Rose often leading the charge on the front lines. .051's earliest rivals included Drexel View, the Black Disciple faction of THF, 4624 Hit Squad, which was the gangster disciple side of THF, along with Welch World and Guttaville. In 2009, 051 was still trying to steer clear of open conflict. But relentless pressure and provocation from THF and others made a full war inevitable. By 2010, tensions have completely boiled over. One notable incident occurred on March 9, 2010, right after dismissal at Dyett High School on East 51st Street. Two 18-year-old 051 members, Arrow and Rockhead, were walking together when Rio from Guttaville opened fire from about 25 feet away. The two split up and ran, but Arrow was hit. Despite his wounds, Arrow managed to walk across the street to Provident Hospital for treatment. While there, he quietly told detectives that Rio was the shooter, though he ultimately refused to press charges. Then came the December 2nd incident involving a 16-year-old Lil Marc at a CTA bus stop on South Cottage Grove Avenue. When a gunman approached and opened fire, Marc drew his own weapon and shot back, but was struck first. He survived after being taken to the hospital, though he was subsequently arrested for unlawful use of the weapon. The shooter was later identified as Tracy, an 18-year-old member of THF-46. Just a few days later, 051 Young Money was involved in a deadly robbery that claimed the life of a local drug dealer named Stephen Billups. The incident happened at Stephen's apartment near 49th and Michigan, where Big A, D Streets, and Chop from 051 came to his door pretending to buy marijuana. Once inside, they signaled the robbery, saying, "You know what this is." When Stephen attempted to reach for his own firearm, Big A pulled out a 9mm handgun and shot him in the head. The three fled with flat-screen TVs and marijuana, leaving Stephen's gun behind. We have now reached January 12, 2011, a date that changed Chicago's South Side gang war forever. But more importantly, for this story, and Lil Marc, it is a date that turned Lil Marc's life upside down when he lost his younger brother, Shondale Gregory Jr., better known as Tooka. Tooka was standing at a bus stop on 63rd and St. Lawrence with Tutu and another friend when a car pulled up. Dimb was sliding through the area, but rumors quickly spread about who was inside. Some blamed brothers Cortez and Courtney, others pointed to Manny, Obama, and Face, while FBG Butta claimed OD from Wick City was involved. According to witness reports, a light-skinned black male in a black hoodie walked up, asked if the bus was coming, and pulled a silver handgun. He shot Tooka once, stood over him, and fired 3 more shots with a long-barreled silver revolver before fleeing in a powder blue Chevy Malibu. While the gunman's description matched OD, who was known to carry a long-barreled silver revolver, the getaway car and statements from a block members pointed to Tim. Whether it was a joint hit or OD passed the gun to someone else, the murder of his brother permanently altered the course of Lil Marc's life. Losing his brother was devastating for Lil Marc. On his Facebook page, he wrote that ever since they took his little brother, his attitude toward life and the world completely shifted to F the world. Many people underestimate just how close Lil Marc and Tooka actually were. While it's widely known they were brothers, many assumed they weren't tight because they repped different sets. In reality, it was the exact opposite. They shared an extremely close bond, making Tooka's death a deep, permanent wound that fueled Lil Marc's aggression in the streets. .051 Young Money was furious after the murder of Ziko, and by this point, the members had fully embraced the escalating street warfare. On April 8, 2011, .051 caught their first confirmed body against their rivals from THF-46. That afternoon, Rose was out riding with fellow 051 members Kiddo and Montana when they spotted Quint, Bezu, and Rome, three highly respected figures from THF 46, on the 800 block of East 46th Street. Montana and Rose jumped out and opened fire, striking all three. After the shooting, they reportedly got back into their vehicle and ran over Rome before speeding off. Quint was pronounced dead at Mercy Hospital after sustaining multiple gunshot wounds. Both Bezu and Rome survived shots to the leg, though Rome also suffered a broken leg from being run over. Quint, who originally came from 5th Ward, was Rome's brother, making his death a devastating blow to THF and a primary reason for Rome's deep hatred of 051. Just 3 days after Quint was killed, THF struck back by shooting Chop from 051. Chop later cooperated with law enforcement and identified the shooter as Win, a Titanic stone from THF. Win was eventually sentenced to 20 years for the shooting. A month later, Buckshot from THF retaliated by killing Big Freaky from Drek's side and 051 Young Money. While some claim Freaky wasn't officially 051, he was clearly targeted due to his close ties to the set. Buckshot was arrested for the murder, but he ultimately beat the case. Three months later, 051 managed to get their retaliation against THF. This brings us to Lil Marc's first, and arguably only, body, Tony, an affiliate of THF 46. T Streets from 051 was reportedly the driver during the hit. During the investigation, the victim's mother stated that Tony had left the apartment about half an hour before the shooting to meet a friend in front of the complex. While she didn't see the shooting, police interviewed the friend walking with Tony at the time. He explained that they were walking west on 47th Street from Woodlawn toward Tony's address. As they neared the driveway, a blue four-door Sebring traveling east stopped right in front of them. He observed 3 or more people inside, but only the rear passenger jumped out and opened fire. Both he and Tony ran southbound down the driveway as the shooter chased them, continuing to fire. The friend kept running until the gunfire stopped, returning only to find Tony on the ground. Another witness at the scene, stating she saw the shooter raise his arm, fire at the 2 running men, and after Tony fell, walk right up to him and shoot him again while standing over him. Investigators identified that gunman as Lil Marc. The vehicle T Streets and Lil Marc used on the hit was a stolen car during an armed robbery. Not long after the homicide took place, the same car was found torched. The next day, Lil Marc posted a status on Facebook where he wrote, "Out here drilling." Tony was just weeks away from leaving for college when he was shot and killed outside his Kenwood apartment complex. His family remembered him as a promising young man. He was 19 years old, had no tattoos, kept his curfew, and spent his summers working as a park district counselor, coaching neighborhood kids on the very basketball courts where he grew up. His sudden murder stunned a community accustomed to quiet streets, leaving his parents to cope with an unspeakable loss. In the aftermath, his mother's health quickly deteriorated under the weight of severe insomnia and grief, while his father turned to the streets to figure out why his only son had been targeted. By piecing together tips from local kids and friends, his father traced the tragedy back to a routine pickup game at Houston Playground Park. Harmless trash talking during the game had escalated online, drawing in a local bully who wasn't even at the court. Days later, a gunman stepped out of a car and opened fire, leaving Toni dead on the pavement while a witness and her young son hid in nearby bushes. Although virtually everyone, including the police, knew that Lil Marc was the killer, he was never formally charged because no one dared to step forward and identify him. The police investigation into the murder presented a somewhat different picture of Toni than the one shared by his family. 2 days after the shooting, police received a call from a mother who reported an incident from July 15th, the day before the murder. She stated that 6 young men had surrounded her 18-year-old son in an attempt to recruit him into the 46 Terror Gang. According to her, Toni was present, pulled out a silver and black .45 caliber handgun, and threatened to shoot her son. She added that the group had also approached her 14-year-old son to pressure him into joining the set, and noted that gang members had been firing shots in the neighborhood the previous day. Another witness came forward as well, alleging that Toni and several others had severely beaten her son simply for walking through the wrong territory. The person who first pointed detectives toward the killer was actually Toni's ex-girlfriend, who had dated him back in 2009. She told police the shooter was from 051 Young Money, revealing that she had spoken directly with Lil Marc on the day of the shooting and that he was bragging about committing the murder. Although she was initially hesitant out of fear, she eventually provided the statement, though authorities determined it was not enough to secure a formal charge. Interestingly, Lil Marc had only recently been released from jail on that unlawful use of a weapon charge, the result of him returning fire when Tracy from DHF 46 attempted to kill him, as mentioned earlier. Lil Marc gained immense respect after the killing of Toni. He was one of the very first of his generation in the newly formed, United 051 Young Money to score on their enemies, and not just any opposition, but their primary rival, DHF 46. Of course, Marc was already a respected figure before this, regularly sliding alongside top members of Young Money. He had established much of that standing back in 2009 and 2010 through his involvement in multiple street shootings. But to step straight out of a jail sentence and catch a body just weeks later elevated his status dramatically. It allowed him to move quickly through the ranks, cementing his place as a top member whom others looked up to, loved, and took with absolute seriousness. Melly, for example, was one who loved him dearly. Only hours after Lil Marc had scored, DHF went out to seek revenge. Exactly 3 hours after Toni was gunned down, DHF retaliated by striking one of 051's primary allies, Met Boys. The target was Lorenzo Beasley, known on the streets as Zoe. On July 16, 2011, Zoo, Bruh, and Bucky from DHF 46 got into a vehicle to slide. Zoe was sitting in a car when the trio pulled up alongside him. With Bucky allegedly at the wheel, Zoo and Bruh opened fire from inside the vehicle, striking Zoe multiple times. He was rushed to John Strowger Hospital in critical condition, but he passed away later that night. Following the shooting, Zoo was arrested and questioned after Bruh reportedly cooperated with police. However, because Bruh recanted his statement, Zoo was never charged and was released that same day. Both Bucky and Bruh were ultimately charged with the murder, but after spending time in Cook County Jail, both ended up beating the case. On October 7, 2011, Lil Marc dropped his debut music video, titled Ziko World. Shot right on 051 Young Money's home block at 51st Street and Cottage Grove Avenue, the release marked a major milestone. It was 051's very first official music video and stood among the earliest tracks establishing the sound of the emerging Chicago drill movement. The song served as an anthem dedicated to Ziko, an older, revered figure whom the younger 051 members deeply looked up to. Ziko had established his reputation on the block years earlier, active in the streets as far back as 2005 selling drugs alongside Rose and other foundational members. Because of his age, experience, and the work he had put in, his memory became a central pillar around which 051 Young Money forged its identity. From late 2011 to early 2013, Lil Marc actually spent the vast majority of his time locked behind bars. On October 7, 2011, at 8:35 p.m., the exact same day his debut music video Ziko World was released, the 17-year-old was attending a high school football game at Bronzeville Academy Charter School. While there, he was caught carrying a handgun, resulting in his arrest and an unlawful use of a weapon charge. After serving 4 months, Lil Marc was released on February 11, 2012. However, his freedom was extremely short-lived. Just 2.5 weeks later, on February 29, 2012, he was locked up again on undisclosed charges. He went on to spend nearly a full year incarcerated before being released once more on February 9, 2013. In mid-November 2011, THF retaliated once again, seeking revenge for the death of Lil Tony by killing T Streets, who, as mentioned, was allegedly the driver during that initial hit. T Streets was a prominent figure within 051, and his murder was allegedly carried out by Trouble and Twilla from 46. Marc, who was exceptionally close to T Streets over many years, was left completely heartbroken and consumed by anger upon hearing the news. The violence only escalated from there. In late May 2012, THF 46 struck Young Money again, killing Lil Chief, with Bobo from THF allegedly responsible for the hit. It was a period marked by constant, back-and-forth bloodshed. Just 2 months later, 051 allegedly retaliated by killing Black from THF using an AK-47. Multiple names have been tied to that incident, including Tristo, Rockhead, Lil Mick, Sleazy, and Kiddo. A year later, in November 2013, THF scored on Young Money yet again when Bezu and Gucci DeMenace allegedly killed Big A from 051. Big A was a known shooter and alleged killer, as well as the sister of 051's Ario. She held a reputation on the streets as an even more formidable figure than the widely known K.I. Police investigations have also noted her presence during the murder of L.A. Capone just 2 months prior, in September 2013, carried out by Lil Mick from Young Money. Winding back slightly to March 2013, roughly 8 months before Big A was killed, Lil Marc was released from jail and made a firm decision to take his music career seriously. Over the next year, he rolled out a string of tracks and music videos on YouTube to build momentum. On March 4, 2013, he dropped his second track, Lackin', featuring fellow 051 Young Money member Mills. The song was a direct remix of Lil Mr. and P. Rico's popular 2012 street anthem No Lackin', with the official music video following shortly after on March 17. Just a week later, on March 11, 2013, Lil Marc released his third track, a tribute titled Ballin' Like Fats. It was made to honor 14-year-old Antonio Fathead/Fats Davis, who had been killed in June 2012 while Marc was still incarcerated. The song featured 051's Lil Mick, who just 6 months later would carry out the high-profile murder of drill artist L.A. Capone in direct retaliation for Fathead's death. By September 15, 2013, Lil Marc released his fourth song and third official music video, Hang With Me, remixing P. Rico's hit track by the same name. The video rapidly built traction within the scene, eventually accumulating over 620,000 views. As we leave 2012 and 2013 behind and step into 2014, many of you already know what this year brought. On March 25, 2014, just 3 days before his death, Lil Marc released his most famous and controversial song, No Competition. The track was a remix of Lil Durk and Lil Reese's song Competition, where Durk had taken shots at Brick Squad, Wugga World, and King Lil J. Marc's version, however, took that disrespect to an extreme level. He directly mocked a long list of deceased members from 600, Lamron, and O Block, including L.A. Capone, Daysky, O.D., Baldy, Trix, Lil Rob, and D-Thang. Getting killed just 3 days after dropping that song was no coincidence. We have to remember, Marc wasn't just making music. He was a prominent figure in 051 Young Money and was heavily rumored to be involved in the 2011 killing of Tony from THF 46. His song spread fast across the city, making him an immediate target. Because members of 600, O Block, and THF 46 couldn't get to the people directly involved in L.A. Capone's murder, since most of them were already locked up, Marc became the main focus. It became a classic case of taking out a rapper for a rapper, something Lil Durk later referenced in his music when he said, "If we can't find you, we gon' kill your artist." What many do not know is that only one day after he released the song, he came dangerously close to being caught in that very same spot, by essentially the same group of people, that he would get killed by 2 days later. On that afternoon, Marc barely escaped with his life after King Von from A Block, along with Twilla and Rome from THF 46, nearly ended things right then and there. Yet, this wasn't even the first time Marc had been caught at a bus stop. Back in December 2010, when Marc was only 16 years old, he was involved in another shooting at a CTA bus stop near 82nd and Cottage Grove. Tracy from THF 46 allegedly spotted Marc and opened fire. Marc managed to shoot back, but Tracy struck him first. Marc was rushed to the hospital and was later charged with unlawful use of the weapon, while Tracy was arrested for aggravated battery with a firearm. 2 days after barely escaping Twilla and the others, Marc returned to that same location. This time, his luck ran out. Now, just 2 days later, Lil Marc was killed. On March 28, 2014, at around 1:27 in the afternoon, Marc was standing at a bus stop on the 300 block of East 51st Street. Members of Lexville allegedly spotted him and passed his location to THF 46. At that moment, THF 46 was already riding around with members from Folly Boys, 600, and O Block. They drove straight to the scene. Inside that silver minivan were Twilla from THF 46, D-Rose from 600, 5-Star from Folly Boys, alongside T-Roy and King Von from A Block. When they pulled up to the bus stop, Twilla allegedly stepped out with an extended magazine and opened fire. At the same time, King Von and D-Rose reportedly fired shots from inside the vehicle. Marc tried to run, but the initial rounds shattered the bus stop glass, and he was struck in the head. The van then sped off, heading north and then west. Later that evening, around 6:30 p.m., that same minivan, which reportedly belonged to D-Rose, was found abandoned and set on fire on the 3700 block of South Ellis Avenue. At the crime scene, investigators found shell casings from multiple firearms. A witness reported seeing one man get out and shoot, but because Twilla, D-Rose, and King Von all indirectly claimed responsibility later on, it's impossible to pinpoint whose bullet was the fatal one. Within hours, the disrespect online was immediate. D-Rose tweeted, "I'm going in, ain't gotta ask who shot him along with Marco what I'm smoking on." King Von posted, "Smoke up, now we're back at it," and would later rap, "Caught that boy right by the bus, this is his last stop." Twilla took a picture posing at the exact spot of the murder. Perhaps most striking of all, just hours after the killing, D-Rose, D-Roy, and King Von reportedly returned to the scene, after the body had been removed, simply to film and mock Marc where he fell.
It's a Tooka on 51st.
Damn, body down.
I was right to
Body down. 51st. Gang.
Man, that.
Bus stop. stop, man. Hey, this bus stop right here, though, this is a real famous place, you hear me? This is a real famous place, B. Hey, this bus stop, this is a real famous place, B. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Free my nigga T. God, fuck the rock, man. Gage.
The whole 051 Young Money was boiling with anger after the murder of Lil Marc. Online, the threats were immediate, and Drilla posted on Twitter that he would kill the whole block just to bring Lil Marc back, while top shooter Melly openly promised to avenge Marc's death, a promise he would ultimately carry out. 051 began aggressively targeting anyone connected to their opposition. Basically everyone they could lay their bullets on. In mid-April 2014, DJ from Wiz City was allegedly killed by Shannon from 051. Reports indicate that TJ and two friends were in the Austin neighborhood when Shannon approached them with a loaded .38 caliber handgun. He forced them into a gangway and demanded money at gunpoint. Even though all three handed over their cash, Shannon fired anyway, striking TJ in the neck and head. The other two escaped, but TJ was rushed to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Shannon was later convicted and sentenced to 80 years in prison for the murder. Just a month later, Pryboy from 051 was involved in another fatal shooting near 46th and Cottage Grove. Pryboy reportedly approached a man named Aaron from P Block and asked him a question. When Aaron answered no, Pryboy pulled out a handgun and shot him in the stomach and back. Aaron was rushed to the hospital in critical condition but ultimately succumbed to his injuries. Pryboy was arrested for the attack and was later sentenced to 20 years in prison. Then, on May 31, 2014, 051 scored a massive blow against the Black Disciples when Rockhead allegedly targeted and killed Lil Durk's cousin, OTF Nusky. In late June 2014, 600 scored on 051 by killing Polo, with the leader of 600, King Lil Boo, allegedly acting as the gunman. As 2015 began, 051 suffered another immediate loss when Frump was shot and killed, reportedly by Scooter from OBN. Both of these losses temporarily slowed the wave of retaliation 051 had planned for Lil Marc, but that pause was only temporary. The tides shifted drastically in March 2015 when 051 landed a major blow directly against THF-46. Melly allegedly gunned down OTF Chino. Immediately after the killing, Melly took to Twitter to dedicate the hit directly to Marc, writing, "Rest up Lil Marc, I told you I had you," followed by a wink emoji. That murder sparked another relentless wave of violence. In early April, 051, allegedly working alongside Jaro City, was involved in the killing of Lil Boo. This was get back both for Marc, given 600's involvement through D Rose, and directly for Polo, who Lil Boo had killed less than a year prior. Ario from 051 was reportedly the getaway driver during the hit. Roughly 6 weeks later, 051 nearly suffered a catastrophic loss. During an alleged ambush by Raheem from THF, Melly was hit in the leg and head, Ario sustained a shoulder wound, and Arrow was grazed in the leg. Miraculously, all three survived. Just 9 days after that triple shooting, their look held and the suspected shooter, Raheem, was killed. allegedly by Ario and Arrow from 051 Young Money. Ario was subsequently arrested and charged with the murder, while Arrow was taken into custody and later released. Make no mistake, this entire trail of violence, stretching across multiple sets and claiming several lives, was driven by a retaliation for Lil Marc, the Prince of 051 Young Money.
Hey, y'all got that order for Nooski? Chino burger. Chino burger. Yeah. Y'all got it? Hey, right? Oh, thank you. Oh, Bill. What's up? Y'all with that OTLK shit? Oh, man. Hey, this motherfucker bogus as hell, man. Y'all, this shit ain't done, man. Y'all done put this shit back on the grill, man. This shit disgusting, man. Get this shit together, man. For real, this shit bogus as hell.
You bring up your little gracious thing when you need your shit. Some motherfuckers remember what you did. Just let me a piece.
Yeah, Chino burger. That's what they said.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, my son just said Chino burger.
Damn, was that Buddha?
Before Lil Marc's death, he had a baby on the way. His son was later born in April 2014, days after his father's death. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, and may God bless you all. Let me know what you want to see next.